Your voice, your opinion, your community. Fact TV, free speech, protected.
Are you sick of looking at Netflix and you don't know what to watch?
So many movies out there, you don't know which ones are good, which ones were bad.
You curious about what's out there?
I'm Joey Powers.
I'm Don Tretler.
This is The Best Pictures.
The ones you don't want to miss.
Hit it.
Say hello to my little friend.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Winners go home and prom queen.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
I don't deserve this. Deserves got nothing to do with it. No sequel for you.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of The Best Pictures. I'm one of your hosts, Joey Powers.
I'm Don Tretler. Welcome to the show.
Today, Don and I decided we wanted to rank our top 10 favorite movies of all time. And I also have a list that Colin made of his top 10 favorite movies of all time. I gotta admit, it was hard. I don't have 10 movies on here. I have about 50. I have 8 narrowed down, but then I have a list of other ones. I feel like almost any one of them could be the last two. You know, so it was really difficult for me. I see you have a few more than 10 on your list as well.
Well, you know, I had a hard time when it came to, I started thinking of my favorite films, and I actually started thinking about favorite directors. And then I had a tough time trying to pick between what was my favorite movie that they made. So, give you, for instance, like Wes Anderson. It's hard for me to pick which Wes Anderson movie I like the best. Because I tend to like all of them.
He did Bottle Rocket, right?
Bottle Rocket.
Wasn't that his first movie?
Yeah. And then it got a little, then he did Rushmore.
I really liked Rushmore. That was good.
Right.
That was different. What about, did he do the Royal Tenenbaums?
He did Royal Tenenbaums.
That had a really good cast. Odd movie. He does a lot of odd movies.
He does.
What's the one with him and Bill Murray, Edward Norton?
Oh, Moonrise Kingdom.
Moonrise Kingdom. I haven't seen that, but that looks different too.
That's real good. And then what's the other one?
Did he do the Hudson one?
Hudson.
Hudson on the River or something like? No. Bill Murray's in that. I just assumed it might have been him.
It's what's the other one? The Hotel Budapest. Grand Budapest.
Yeah, the Grand Budapest. Yeah.
Have you seen that one?
Nope. I honestly think the only one I've seen is Rushmore. I don't know why, because I really liked it. Oh no, I saw the Royal Tenenbaums. That's right.
And I think that's my choice. That's the one I picked of all his movies.
The Royal Tenenbaums?
Because I've watched it a couple times, and I just love it. I just chuckle with some of the stuff in the movie. Ben Stiller's in the movie.
Yeah, like
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Owen Wilson, Luke Wilson, I think's in it too. Danny Glover, Gene Hackman, Angelica Houston. You know, it's
Right.
got a really good cast.
It's just I just think I picked that one as my favorite of his, so that's on my top 10 list. So there's my first one right there.
All right, well, mine obviously everybody knows is Pulp Fiction. I actually just watched it again this weekend. It was on TV, it was on Bravo, and I was like, I can't not watch it. I just have to watch it. And that's how I think I rated, how I went through rating my top 10. It's based on how many movies, like how often I would want to watch that movie. Like if it was on TV, even if I owned it, would I stop and watch it, or would I click on to see what else is on? And so that's definitely my main criteria for how I ranked my top 10. I don't know if Colin's, are yours in order or just the top 10? Colin's first one is Inglourious Basterds.
He loves that movie.
Mm-hmm. It's a good movie. You know, I'm a big fan. It's funny because the first one for both of us are Tarantino movies, you know.
I'm going to have to watch Inglourious Basterds again. I watched it. It wasn't my favorite Tarantino, but now maybe I need to go back and watch it again because some of these Tarantino movies I do enjoy going back and watching them.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to agree with you. You know, Pulp Fiction would be on my top 10 too. It's a movie, especially one of those movies where you catch a little bit of it on television. You know, you see a little snippet and you can't stop watching it.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably said this before, when I first went to see it in the theater, when it first came out, I wasn't as high on it. And part of it had to do with, the big part of it is that it wasn't chronological. So, for instance, I shouldn't say because it would ruin it for anybody who hasn't seen it, but the movie doesn't take place chronologically. So it's cut up into little, like, what would you call it, scenes?
Segments, like 3 different segments.
And they're not chronological. So there are parts where you get to the late in the movie, like, wait a minute, that happened before that happened. And it kind of like, I don't want to say it confused me, but I'm not used to that.
I could see it confusing people that haven't seen, because that was really groundbreaking. You hadn't seen a lot of movies like that before.
Right. And I think sometimes it took me I had to get used to it. Now that I've watched it, I really like it.
Yeah, I know, I know what you're saying, because you're like watching it towards the end, you're like, he died, I thought.
Right.
But then you go back and think about it and like, oh, okay, so the end is actually when Bruce Willis drives off on the chopper with his girlfriend. That's really technically the end of the movie, but it's halfway through the movie because the segments are just set up so differently.
Right.
All right, what do you got for number 2?
Well, let's
Or
see.
just another movie.
Well, I'll throw out another one of the big heavyweights is The Godfather. The Godfather I kind of rank as like, it's got to be in my top 2, top 3 movies. I love that movie. I can't stop watching. I think it's a masterpiece. It's just, he captured so many great little things with that film.
Mm-hmm.
Even just the time, you see a lot of movies where they, they go back, the date goes back. So say like they're making a movie now about the 70s. And they go to, get the right hairdos, the right clothing and everything, but it looks like they were trying to do it. Godfather doesn't look like they were trying to do it. It looks like it was.
Yeah.
But not necessarily stylistically like they made it in, say it was 1950, because I can't quite picture but I mean, that's kind of close. The story takes place around 1950, 60, something like that. But it doesn't look like an effort was made it looks like they really created that world. It's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a lot of epic scenes. Like I said, the opening scene with the wedding, that whole scene was just amazing. It was phenomenal, I mean, seriously, it looks like there was no effort put into it, that it was just there, and they all just showed up in dresses, in tuxedos or whatever, and that was it.
Some of the performances, they're iconic. I mean,
Brando, obviously.
And Al Pacino.
And James Caan. I mean,
right,
Sonny
James
is
Caan.
the hothead, I mean, he was great.
If you think of James Caan, that's like the top, role that you think of James Caan in.
I think I've told you this before, but John Cazale, who played Fredo, died at a young age.
Oh, yeah.
He was only in 8 movies, and they're all in the AFI Top 100.
All 8 of them?
All 8 of them.
Wow.
Those are the only 8 movies he ever did. He's in, another one I should have put on my list, Dog Day Afternoon.
Right.
I mean, I think he's in The Conversation, Deer Hunter. I mean, they're all iconic movies. And, I don't know how he died, but he definitely died at a young age. But
I think it was natural, like a heart attack, something like that.
But just be 8 movies and all of them in the top 100, that's impressive.
Right. You knew somebody.
I mean, it's a lot to have 8 movies in the top 100 if you did 100 movies, let alone just doing 8 and going 8 for 8. That's pretty impressive. I'm on it right now. This got a 7.5 on IMDb, which I think is a little low. But my number 2 is The Town.
The Town, yeah.
I really, really like that movie. I've seen it so many times. I think there are good performances in that movie, too. I mean, Ben Affleck gets crapped on all the time for not being a good actor. I think he's actually a pretty decent actor.
Yeah.
Jeremy Renner's great. Jeremy Renner's been great in everything I've seen him in. Even though I didn't like the Hurt Locker, he was still great in it. I thought Rebecca Hall was pretty good. And John Hamm as the FBI agent was good.
Yeah.
The one miss I thought was Blake Lively. I thought she was terrible. She almost ruined it for me. Her accent was awful. I don't know. She just seemed like she was half awake. I mean, I know she was like a junkie, so that was probably what she's trying to do, but just not. I don't think she's a good actress anyway, but I just felt like she was completely miscast. But I really liked it. That was the second movie Ben Affleck directed. He did Gone Baby Gone first.
Which is a good movie.
Yeah.
It's a real good movie,
Very
too.
good movie. Colin's second on his list is a good movie that we've both seen and liked, Black Swan.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Good choice.
Darren Aronofsky. You know, definitely not.
Oh, I didn't have him on my list.
I don't think I have an Aronofsky film on my list.
Wow.
If I did, actually, I probably would have done, even though it tormented me for my entire life. I would have had Requiem for a Dream because it was a really good movie.
Yeah.
But Black Swan was really good. Natalie Portman won her only Oscar for Best Actress for it. He was nominated for director and I believe picture because I think he produced it. But that's a very good movie, very good choice. One I didn't even think of, and I own it.
Yeah. I've watched it. I probably watched your copy in the past.
Yeah, I lent it to you.
Couple.
Not that long ago.
Yeah, probably in the past year I watched it again.
I think so. He's got another one on his list that I wish I didn't think of. I wish I had. All right, what do you got next?
Well, let's see. Let me pick a Coen Brothers movie. I was having a hard time trying to pick what is my favorite Coen Brothers movie, and you know I'm probably going to say I like Big Lebowski a lot.
I didn't like it. You know
I know
like
you didn't.
It.
Did you see it, Colin? Did you see Big? He didn't see Big Lebowski.
I couldn't get through it. You know, everybody that's seen it's giving me crap. They're like, how can you not like that movie? I was like, I just thought it was stupid. I don't know. I mean, generally the Coen brothers are spot on. Like, I love No Country for Old Men. I thought that was an excellent movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe they did Fargo as well.
Fargo.
Which I thought was a very, very, that didn't make my list, but it very easily could have.
Right.
I remember I watched that when it first came out, and I was like, wow, who are these guys? Because I'd heard of Raising Arizona, but I saw it when I was really, really young and didn't really remember it.
Oh, right.
So-
Those were one of those guys where I caught them on their first movie, Blood Simple. I walked into a room and it
told
was
me how
on,
good
and I
that
was
is.
like, what the heck is
I
this?
still haven't seen it. I gotta remember. I gotta write that down.
And they followed it up with, what's the one with Albert Finney?
Albert Finney.
Oh yeah, he's like in the mob. He's like in the mob. Oh shoot. I'll think of it. I can't think of what it is. That was the next one that they followed it up with. Then Raising Arizona, which was funny. So you had these two movies that were kind of like violent and edgy, and they followed it up with Raising Arizona, which was hilarious.
An odd movie.
Oh yeah, it would. In case you people haven't seen it, it's Nicolas Cage, Holly Hunter, John Goodman.
Miller's Crossing.
Miller's Crossing. Have you seen that?
No, you
Oh,
told
you
me about
gotta
that
see
too.
that.
I know, you told me about that. Yeah. And Gabriel Byrne, I think, sent it too.
Right.
And you saw Burn After Reading, right?
Oh yeah, I love that movie.
I got it and I still haven't watched it.
John Malkovich is in it. Oh,
The one miss that we both agree on is The Lady Killers.
right. Lady
That
Killers was not good.
That was a terrible movie.
But I'm picking from them A Serious Man. Have you seen this?
Nope.
I should lend you my copy of this.
Is that Colin Firth?
No, it's an actor you've seen before. Michael Stuhlbarg. He's not a guy that's been a lead actor. He's a character actor in a lot of different movies. Supporting actor. He's great, and he's the lead guy in this. And it's kind of like, this is a theme that I tend to like. It's like a person gets thrown into a situation, and it's like they go through these out of control, just things that start happening to them, like After Hours, which is also kind of on my list, like my Scorsese movie, where he's a banker, he bumps into a girl, the girl gives him a number, he goes to go on a date with the girl to go find the girl, and then it's just a series of mishaps that happen throughout the night. The guy he's just a middle class guy. He's got a job and everything, and his life just starts falling apart. Crazy things start happening. His marriage falls apart. His kids are like, could give a damn about him. His job, which he's very competent at, starts falling apart. It's like his whole life just spontaneously starts falling apart on the guy. and it's not ha-ha funny. It's kind of like really dark comedy, but I just love that movie, and I love the end of the movie. I just think I think that's kind of a masterpiece that's not well known to people.
Got a 7.1.
7.1.
Pretty good score. I don't recognize him though. I'm trying to look for something.
I'd like to think of like what there must be a film that preceded these, and I know that a film like that was The Stuntman. The Stuntman's like that. It's this guy, and all of a sudden he just falls into this life. And he's in a movie, and he's getting arrested, and it's craziness. The Game is like that.
Yeah.
David Fincher's The Game has, where a series of these things start happening to the guy, and it's like life goes out of control. I'd like to know what the first movie like that, somebody must have made a movie like that in the past that preceded, say, like The Stuntman. But this is a plot I tend to like. The world is out of control. The person is just in an out of control world. So that's a Serious Man. See it, people.
All right, I'm gonna
And then tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong about it. It's a great movie.
mix it up a little. I'm gonna check and see what it was. I have Changing Lanes.
Oh, another Ben Affleck.
Another Ben Affleck movie was
This guy
really
likes
good.
Ben
Now, see,
Affleck.
this only got a 6.5, which I think is really low. I really liked that movie. I thought both lead performances were really good, and I don't like Samuel L. Jackson.
Who directed that?
I know the guy's name. Hold on a second. Roger Mitchell.
I watched this movie, relatively recently, and
What,
yeah,
Changing Lanes?
Yeah, this is that's a charged movie. It's a movie
Yeah.
where,
Really,
and I like Samuel L. Jackson
really
because
fast paced.
it's not your typical Samuel L. Jackson role.
No, not at all.
He really gets to act in this one.
Yeah.
And he grips you. I mean, because you're kind of pulling for him.
He's like a nice guy, and they just, two guys having bad days, and, they just keep going after each other all movie long. And it gets dangerous, like very dangerous towards the end. But a really good movie. I like Sidney Pollack as well. He was pretty good in it. And who's the other one? Richard Jenkins.
Oh, right, yeah.
He's good too.
Underrated actor.
Yep. But yeah, so that's, like I said, I go based on how many times I've seen these movies, and that's like, I might actually watch that when I get home now, because I haven't seen it in probably a year.
It's another good one. I mean, it's, it keeps you.
Colin's next one is a good movie, but I'll never watch it again. Passion of the Christ.
Oh,
Just too violent for me. And trust me, I like violence. I'm a fan of violent movies and stuff like that, but this was just too over the top for me. I mean,
right. I don't know if I would watch it again.
there's a scene where they take what is it called? Like with the ball with spikes on it and stuff, and they slam it into his chest so hard that it sticks into it, and then they rip it out. And I remember watching that, and I'm like, Jesus, I don't know if I can get through this whole thing.
Yeah.
I did, but I was like, it's a good movie. I'm glad I saw it, but I definitely will never watch
Will
it.
you watch it again, Colin? Colin's going to watch it again.
Oh.
I don't know if I would. And this is Mel Gibson, and Mel Gibson, I notice he's kind of got a tendency with this in some of his movies. He did this in, I think it's called When We Were Soldiers, which was a war movie, and then Hacksaw Ridge.
That's
he did this-
another war movie.
He took the violence and he just, and I understand that, when it comes to war, he wants to show you the ugliness, that it's not all about, heroism, that there's an ugly, ugly part
Right.
of, with the violence and everything. But the film, I'm kind of like, holy crap. Like, I don't think I want to watch Hacksaw Ridge again.
Yeah. I mean, he got nominated for Best Director for that. And it got nominated for Best Picture. And Andrew Garfield, I believe, got nominated for Best Actor. They didn't win any of them, but like, man, he's aged. His hair is like all completely white, and
Mel Gibson?
yeah.
Yeah.
But this was the first thing he'd done in a while, because he got a lot of controversy with Passion of the Christ, because people accused him of being racist. And then, of course, getting pulled over by the cop, and he asked her if she was Jewish, and he got a DWI. So he stayed out of the limelight for quite a while.
He's kind of resurrecting his career.
And this was like his big comeback, because we've talked about it before. At one time, he was probably the biggest movie star in the world. You know, he was up there with the likes of like Tom Cruise.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean,
Yeah, because he had the Mad Max series, and then he also had
the
the
Lethal
Weapon.
Weapon series, which were huge, successful movies. I just watched that whole series not that long ago. I didn't like the addition of Chris Rock. I thought his character was a little annoying. But
Didn't he just do? I think Mel Gibson did something about. I can't remember the title of it. Something to do with a dad, and somebody kidnaps one of his kids, and he's. Maybe that's not what it is. It's
I don't know. I know he did. He was in
his
that.
kid's in trouble.
He was in
from
Daddy's Home too. I know that, but
Right. But there's another one. He made like a thriller type of thing where his kid gets into some problems with a gang or something, and they come to him for help. And he lives out in a trailer in the middle of nowhere.
Force of Nature,
I don't think so. I think it has Dad or
Bloodfather.
Bloodfather.
There
That's
you go.
it. So he's resurrected. He's coming back with some movies and stuff.
All right, you're up. We got time for one more of each of us. So
One more.
Pick a good one.
How about this one? Silence of the Lambs. I
Oh,
can't stop watching that
I
movie.
forgot about that. I don't know. That's the thing. Like I said, I own so many movies that I was going through them, and I'm like, this is gonna take me a freaking week to go through all these. So yeah, that's a good one. That would be in my top 20 list.
One Best
definitely.
Picture. Probably the best movie that Jonathan Demme ever made.
It's the last film to win the top 5 honors. It won picture, director, actor, actress, screenplay. It's the last movie to do that, and that was 29 years ago now.
Wow.
Before that, it was One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. You know, so it doesn't happen often. You know,
It's that type of movie that, the lines from it keep coming back, and it's also a movie that you can't stop watching.
my favorite line in that movie is, it rubs the lotion on the skin or it gets the hose again. I mean, Ted Levine, he could have been nominated for a supporting act. He might have been, actually,
Should have been.
for Buffalo Bill.
Yeah.
That is,
Ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
I know.
It's got those lines.
Anthony Hopkins, I mean, I know he's been nominated. He just actually won. He upset Chadwick Boseman, which shocked everybody, including him.
Right.
You know, 'cause everybody, they had like Chadwick Boseman's wife like ready to accept the award and everything like that. And then they announced it's Anthony Hopkins, and everybody was just like, huh, didn't see that coming. I mean, I heard Boseman's performance was outstanding, but you can't just give someone an Oscar just because they died. I mean, if Anthony Hopkins really was better, and I wouldn't doubt it, Anthony Hopkins is a very talented actor.
I had that movie. It's called The Father. I keep going through my movie list. I keep making lists of movies I want to see. It's got to be on there at least 4 times that I must have read a review about it or heard something about it, and I kept writing it down. I still haven't seen it, but that's a lot to have a movie on my list 4 times.
All right, I'm going to go with another Ben Affleck movie, believe it or not. Good Will Hunting. Really, really liked Good Will Hunting. Robin Williams won an Oscar for supporting actor, and at the time, he wasn't really known for doing many dramatic roles. He was always doing comedies.
Right.
Like, I went and saw The Birdcage right around the same time Good Will Hunting came out, and I thought that movie was so stupid. Good cast, but I just didn't like it.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, Good Morning Vietnam. Oh, by the way, did you ever watch Dead Poets Society?
I did.
What'd you think?
I liked it. Yeah, it was a
good.
very good movie. I wish I had seen it earlier when it had first come out.
It was a really good movie. Definitely not a comedy, though.
No.
But I think that was really his first dramatic role. Because, I mean, Good Morning Vietnam was definitely more comedy, I thought. And, and he did, he played Popeye,
Right.
So,
I think he made the right choice because he really, toward the end of his life, he started to steer more toward these dramatic roles and less of the silly comedy types of things.
He did Insomnia. Did you ever see that?
Oh, yeah.
That was the first Christopher Nolan movie I saw. And then I went back and watched, or no, I guess it wasn't. It was the second because I had already seen Memento.
Right.
But then I went back after I watched Insomnia and watched Following.
Following?
That was Christopher Nolan's first movie. Very, very different.
I'm writing it down, people.
Good. I haven't seen a Christopher Nolan movie that I didn't like.
Yeah, I would say the same thing.
And so, I'm gonna skip over Colin's list and go to one that he wrote down that I wish I had written down. Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler.
That is a
great movie.
That is a really, really good movie.
good choice.
Jake Gyllenhaal is creepy as hell in that movie.
Yeah, that was one of those movies. Once I saw it, it made it was up there on like one of my best of
I've
lists.
seen it a lot. Riz Ahmed, his partner, that at the end he films, just got nominated for Best Actor for The Sound of Steel or The Sound of Metal, whatever
right.
it's called.
Yeah.
He was nominated for lead actor for that. And he was great in that movie too. But Jake Gyllenhaal absolutely steals that movie. I mean, just everything about him is just awkward and creepy as hell.
Yeah.
I mean, it was nice to see Renee Russo try to make a comeback. I always liked her. I always thought she was pretty talented.
Who directed that? Was that somebody big?
I want to. Was it Tony Gilroy?
Really good movie. That was one of my favorites when it came out. He did a couple. Jake Gyllenhaal did a couple. He did that other one that I liked. Animal. No, it wasn't Animal Kingdom. Oh shoot.
Dan Gilroy, not Tony Gilroy.
Critchroy.
7.8. I probably got.
Yeah.
That's right on. I think maybe just a little low. I don't know. He was in Prisoners. I really like that.
Right.
With Hugh Jackman. I mean, that had a really good cast too. Terrence Howard, Viola Davis, Maria Bello, Paul Dano. He
had a great part in that one.
Yeah. Hugh Jackman was great. But Nightcrawler is definitely one that I forgot about. But it's definitely I would recommend that if anyone hasn't seen it. And I'm not a huge Jake Gyllenhaal fan. I think he's a talented actor.
Oh yeah.
But I haven't seen a lot of movies of his that I really like. But this is definitely my favorite movie he's done.
What's that other one that he did with Amy Adams? I can't think of the name of it. It's got a name like Animals or Creatures.
Oh, yes, you talked to me about it. Nocturnal Animals.
Nocturnal Animals.
That was good. That was different, but that was good. The one thing I didn't like about it is how it ended. Because it's just like he just doesn't show up for dinner? Is that that's just how it's gonna end? But you and I were on the same page. We thought the two characters that he were playing was actually the same person. And it wasn't. They're actually, so that got a little confusing for me.
Yeah.
But that was a really good movie. I highly recommend that too.
And he's got a newer one.
I might actually even watch that tonight. 'Cause I haven't seen that. I only saw it the one time, but I really enjoyed it.
I can't think what it's called. Something about a chainsaw or something.
Here, let me check real quick. We're just about out of time. So, how recent do you think?
Last 3 years.
Velvet Buzzsaw?
Velvet Buzzsaw, yeah.
That sounds interesting.
I want to see it.
So yeah, we're gonna have to definitely do part 2 of this.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do a part 2, and I
Probably part 3, part 4, part 5.
I crossed off some of the ones.
Yeah, I crossed off the ones that I read of mine and Collins. So, but that's our show for the week. It was fun as always. I'm one of your hosts, Joey Powers.
I'm Don Trutler, and
these are the ones you don't want to miss.
Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the war room.
Here's Johnny. Go ahead. Make my day.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.